Hi, it's Megan. So it's been a long time since I've done a video again. I keep doing these long breaks, but I decided I was going to shoot a video, and obviously there's a lot going on in the world. So I'm starting barefaced. We'll just start with the brand that we're going to talk about today, which is Kosas, and then I'll just talk about some other stuff that's kind of going on in my life and some thoughts and whatever else. But Kosas is a brand that I was stalking for a little while. It's a more natural brand, and I started slowly trying out the products, just aiming for a more natural look. I go through periods where I want a more natural look, and then periods where I'm just piling on the makeup. And Kosas was one. The first thing that kind of caught my eye was the Tinted, what's it called? The Tinted Face Oil. And I know a number of people have done videos on the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, and I've got two shades here. And they've had mixed thoughts about it, and I also have mixed thoughts about it. So I got into the Tinted Face Oil, love and hating it, and then I started buying other products. And so we're gonna do mostly a full face of Kosas makeup. I've got the Tinted Face Oil. I've got two of the, let's see, what are they called? The Color and Light Cream Blush and Highlighters. I've got one of the 10-second liquid eyeshadows. I've got two of the Weightless lip color, and then it's very lucky. Sephora has this program where they have these rewards you can get if you save up enough points, and I think the last time I got something off of that was 6 years ago, but I got lucky and I got the complete set of the wet lip oil glosses, and so I'm going to go through those at the very end. I'm really bad at doing first impression videos. It's just not something I'm good at. So every product except for the, what do they call them, the gloss oils, I have tried before, I've got thoughts on, I'm going to just show you, but those are going to be they're going to be just a first impression thing. So first, what's Kosas? And Kosas is a local brand. I have no idea where they are. I didn't even actually look to see where their street address is, but I'm in Los Angeles, and they're based in Los Angeles. And I think one of the issues people have sometimes had with the face oil, comments I've seen are, wow, you must be younger if you really like that. And the founder is younger. She's very pretty, very, you know, but nonetheless, I like the aesthetic behind the brand. So, and I do like the face oil sometimes. I'm not used to my camera for a long time. Let's see, what do they say? They say we exist to revolutionize what beauty means and change the complicated relationship between beauty and makeup. Yes. We believe in free, easy, unrestrained beauty that celebrates simplicity and defies convention. Well versed in the beauty routines that came before us, we are now liberating them, redefining beauty on our own terms, and introducing makeup that feels as good as it looks. Kosas is a visionary collection of nourishing, skin-flattering color cosmetics. Limited only by our own imagination and not bound by tradition, we create unparalleled blends that feel better, last longer, and make an impact. And then they talk about the 5 Kosas of self. I'm not going to read this whole thing, which basically says there are 5 intersecting, connected layers of self that communicate with each other. A physical layer, a vitalizing layer of energy, a sensory mental layer, a discerning intellectual layer, and a layer of truthful bliss. Beauty lives in each of these layers, not just the physical. And I totally agree with that. And so let's just kind of jump in with the Tinted Face Oil, and then I'll start talking about other things. So I just completely somehow right now before shooting this video made a disaster of one of the packages. I don't know what I did. Got water all over it. So this is what it looks like. I have 2 shades, 3.5 and 5.5, and I did, well, I guess with these I might do a swatch on camera. I did swatches on my arm outside just because I found that no matter how hard I try to do perfect swatches when I'm shooting a video, there's always something that it's not as good as the lighting outside where I know the best place to put my camera and to get the right colors. And so I like, and I've got a good camera, so I like doing those outdoor swatches and then just putting them in the video. And then, but for the tinted face oils, I think I'm just going to show you. So you shake it, it's really thin. And I've got 5.5 in reverse order and 3.5. So let's shake them both. And so 3.5 basically says fair light with with neutral undertones. I have neutral undertones. And then 5.5 says medium with olive undertones. And I don't know that either of these is ideal for me. Okay, so we shake it up, and then we're gonna now this is gonna go all over the place. See, there it goes. And we're gonna mix the two together. because I actually think between the two, they're a little better. And I don't remember when I bought these, why I picked these shades. I can't remember. I bought them both online. Why I would think that I have olive undertones, I don't even know. Okay, so we're gonna make a second mess, and then we're gonna try to see how bad that is. So you can see it's really, really runny. So I'm gonna mix those together and kind of put them on the face. And it's already sinking into my skin. I've got really dry skin, so let's just do the 3.5. I was gonna do the 5.5, but I'm so pale right now. We're gonna do the 3.5. I have been stuck inside just like everybody else. So they say to use 2 to 4 drops. Oh, that's so funny. Wow. So you don't know what I'm talking about. As I was thinking about shooting this video, this is not enough, and I think it's too yellow, this color. We're gonna put a little bit, so, okay, we're gonna ignore the 2 to 4 drops. As I was putting this video together, I was thinking, you know, I've never had it ball up on my face the way some people have. It's funny, maybe it's the skincare I use. Well, it just balled up on my face a little bit. When I've been using the same, oh, I know what I did differently. I used oh yeah, wow. So I used the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be without makeup, let's add a little glow. Not a good idea. That suddenly went from no balling up on my skin to balling up on my skin, which makes me wonder if this is actually applying right. And I'm gonna, wow, yeah, that's really bizarre. So you can see it's really giving a very light coverage, and it does have a sheen to it. As people who watch my videos in the past know, I use 50 products on my face for skincare, and so for it not to ball up using those 50 and then that Wonder Glow just and by the way, once it balled up and I started piling on more in a gentle, not so many layer way, it's okay. So this is where it gets tricky. So okay, I think it makes my skin look better. I'm not wowed. We're gonna do lipstick in a second. I just hate, I don't know, the one thing that bothers me when I'm shooting the videos I don't like is not having lipstick. Everything else I can handle. So let's see, it's $42 for 1.0 ounces. There's 16 shades, which they say cover 48 skin tones. Coverage is light, absolutely. The formulation is liquid, yes. For normal, dry, combination, and oily. I have dry skin, and it works great on me, so you can barely see that I have anything on. Highlighted ingredients: jojoba seed oil, jojoba seed, Susan balances, avocado oil, cushions and thoroughly hydrates. Avocado oil, by the way, absorbs slower in the skin. So for people with oily skin, I would think that might be a problem. Red raspberry seed oil tones and supports natural reparative processes. So this is good for your skin too. It's vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free. What else you need to know? With an application that takes as little as 10 seconds, I think I did it even trying to layer it on in less than 10, but I'm not convinced I really got good coverage. I think that might be as much the product as the person. Let's try a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little better, I guess. So 10 seconds, yeah. I mean, first of all, it's still kind of peeling a little, balling up. Okay. Imperceptible all-day wear and true nourishment, Tinted Voice Oil Foundation is the new definition of a flawless face. The breathable, silky clean formula evens the look of skin tone, minimizes pores, and erases imperfections while supporting the health of the skin underneath. Shake well. The pigment and oil have to emulsify before application, so you receive the perfect amount of both. I did that. The formula doesn't contain silicone, so it works best on exfoliated skin. We did that, but then we added that extra product we shouldn't have. Layer over moisturous sunscreen to allow skincare to soak in before applying. I do that, and like I said, I have not had any issues, but we just found out that you don't use this with Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. So okay, I think my skin looks better. I think that's true. It's a Allure Best of Beauty Award winner. It's clean at Sephora. And now, because this is bugging the crap out of me, we're gonna just do a quick little touch up with a lipstick, because I just, like I said, that's the one thing I don't like about not having makeup on camera, is not having lipstick. Call me shallow, but I do make makeup videos. So Is makeup shallow? If makeup is, then lipstick is. Oh. So this is rose water. See how much better I look automatically? And we're gonna do a couple things that are gonna make me look automatically better too. So we're kind of dragging along our application, our 10-second application, whatever. But even now, like my whole face just looks so much better. There's just something about that only foundation. So if I look at it in a mirror, a close up, my skin actually does look really glowing and beautiful and nice and gorgeous. It really does, actually. When you do stuff on camera, you quickly learn that piling on the foundation and putting the powder and all the concealers and all that crap on looks so much better on camera. You look so great. But if you look at yourself in person, you're like, wow, that's a really dry, cakey face, isn't it? So this is one of those that you're not going to get the same kind of look that you get on camera. But looking at it on my little mirror, I'm like, wow, yeah, my skin looks great. So that's just kind of a caveat. And that's where it's been kind of a love-hate. I've had moments where I think, wow, I look like natural and beautiful and my skin glows and it's so great and it's just so beautiful and flawless and just wonderful and better than foundation because I don't look all fake and cakey and ick. Which as your skin ages especially, or if you have dry skin like I do, dry skin living in a dry climate, foundations can really sit on the skin and just look, ugh, they age, they just don't look good. And I find with this, my camera shut off, once I get used to the idea that it looks like glowing skin, not like foundation, then I start liking how it looks a lot better. And even now, I don't know, somehow just whatever I just had to do with the camera makes my skin look better. We'll see how the rest of the video goes. Okay, so overall, how would I sum this up? If you like a super, super light coverage, it's good. It's really pretty and you get this glowing, evens out your skin, makes it look a little bit better. The oil in it does give you a glow. I don't know how it would work with oily skin, but on my skin it just absorbs in beautifully. It really is 10 seconds. Although I think you've seen from some of my other videos, given how busy I am a lot of times, I don't really spend a lot more time than that doing foundation anyway, ever. Oh, I know why everything's getting wet. Because I put my wipe on top of everything. Everything's like getting destroyed over here and I'm just looking at this thinking, what's happening? That's what's happening. Okay, so now we're gonna have to play around with fixing this. And we're gonna move the wipe so that I think I've just destroyed almost every box. Yep, I did. Okay, and I just looked off camera for way too long. We're gonna make it flawless now. So, let's grab one of their mirrors. The issue that I've had more than anything else, because I do have pretty good skin overall and I spend a lot of time taking care of my skin and a lot of money too. That's been my huge focus for many, many years. One of the problems that I have or have had learning to use this is that the coverage is so light. And again, like I said before, it doesn't look like foundation. So if you want something that looks like foundation and really like you are flawless and there's no discoloration at all, this is not your product. But the issue I've had is with concealers, because you have this like glowy, dewy, natural, which does show some imperfections, and then you have the concealer and it's so obvious it does not work at all. And so I've played around with different concealers and found ways of making it work. So first we're going to start with the Giorgio Armani Maestro Eraser, which is a dark circle concealer. And once I start getting a little bit more makeup on, I'll start talking about things other than makeup. So this is a very liquidy foundation. Oh, that makes sense, right? We used a very liquidy concealer. We used a very liquidy foundation, and now we're going to use a very liquidy concealer, and I'm going to need to do this here. So, part of the reason why I like the timing of this Kosas video, and I guess like is a relative term, is because being in Los Angeles, I am part of that beautiful stay home order, which by the way, that is not critical at all. One of my pet peeves right now is that I don't care what you think about any politician out there. We have to try to support our government because, let's face it, we're in a national crisis. And so I've had this conversation with my kids. If my mayor, if my governor, if my president says stay home, I take that very seriously. Not everyone has to agree with me, and obviously some people don't. But I just think sometimes we have to pull together as a nation, forget about all that other stuff that whatever, and just do what's best for the greater collective. And I think probably people don't know this, but I was super into yoga for a long time. For about 8 years, I went 5-6 days a week. And then when I cut out the videos, because I did cut out shooting videos, I also cut out yoga. I just went through this period where I just needed a change. There were just a lot of things going on in my life, and I just needed to get away from everything. And I did, as you know. And I regretted parts of it. I really did. I regretted stopping with the videos. I regretted stopping with the yoga, and I've recently started getting back into yoga again. I actually have a teacher's training credential for yoga if I ever wanted to teach, which I never have and probably never will. But you know, sometimes in life we go through periods where we just need change, and I went through that, and I think it's best not to do what I did, which is to change so much so fast. But I just got busier at work, and I had some issues with my mom being ill, and I just couldn't do anymore. And I just needed to kind of cut a lot of things. And things stabilized, of course. But then once you give something up, it's so much harder to get back into it. So as you can see, I just put a very light layer of this on. If I put more than a light layer, it starts looking super fake and just not good. Next, this is my next step to make it work. I use something like the Max Prep and Prime illuminator, or the Trish McAvoy Instant Eye Lift, because if I don't put some sort of a foundation or a concealer on first, then I don't have enough of color, because I have not been sleeping some nights recently, which we'll get into in a second, and my dark circles have become way more apparent. And so if I'm trying to look natural, let's say I've got a Zoom meeting or something and I want a natural looking makeup because I'm at home and I don't need the full face, I could do this whole Kosas look, and it's amazing and it's great, but I have these circles, and so I need to layer the light concealer. Heavy concealer is just so artificial looking, but I still need a little help after that. So we're gonna put this on. And then we're gonna blend again with the blush. And because of where I get the circle, not the blush, with the brush, brush, whatever. Because of where I get circles, and I kind of wiped away too much on one side, I get circles right in here as well, and then right in here. I don't get them on the outer part. That's really pretty much it. And so, there. And I have a couple other spots, which we're gonna go back with the concealer in a second. So there I have a little bit of a glow, and it's not the perfect application, but you know, we're gonna go with it. And then I'm gonna take a little powder. Actually, let's take a little bit of concealer. So how am I handling this stay at home? I am having to work from home, and I am, believe it or not, a secret introvert. I love being home. I think it's fabulous. It's been amazing, to the point where I sometimes feel guilty, because where I'm not sleeping sometimes is I look outside at the rest of the world and I think, okay, today everything's fine in my little bubble, but there's just a lot going on, and there's the unknown. And so that's where I start focusing on what can I control, where can I be better. And so I come up with my patriotic crazy stuff about let's support our government, let's support each other, let's try to be a better person, just because I find it's the only way for me personally to cope with it and to get some sleep. So I was talking about yoga, and I guess where I was also going to go with that is there's a concept. When I was really into yoga, I also got really into things like Buddhism and reading some of the sutras of the Hindus and the Yoga Sutras, and how you're supposed to balance yourself, your mind, your body, and all of that. And I do have this idea from that time that we're all connected, and there is kind of a mind-body connection, and there's a feeling in the world, and you get kind of a sense especially as we've gotten more globalized, you can't just go into your little silo and ignore that other people are out there and have problems and are suffering. And so I kind of feel like what we're going through now is kind of this collective sigh of pain, and hopefully we get through it quickly. But the best way, again, my little self-help guru stuff, the best way for me to do it is just to focus on what I can control, and then also stay educated and mindful of everything else, so that if there's a time where I could help, like even the small things that help, like staying home, for example, then I'm going to do it. And that might sound corny and whatever else, but gosh, you know, I really can't fix the world right now if I ever could. And I really wish it would get fixed quickly. So I'm just touching on a little powder to set what I did on my eyes with the concealer. I do not like powder over this foundation. I feel like you either go in with a belief that you're going to buy into this light coverage, glow, you know, natural look, or not. And if it's not something for you, if you're going to start piling, you know, foundation or powder on or whatever else, it's not, it doesn't work. It just gets cakey and it doesn't look. You take away the glow and you just add some glop, in my opinion. Okay, where we're gonna use powder, and I don't know, would I use powder? Crap, I'm putting the wrong thing in the wrong box. Would I use powder or would I use a cream contour? I've tried both, and I think more often than not when I've used this at home, I have used a cream contour, but I just decided for the video I wanted to do a powder one. And I will always use a little bit of bronzer as a contour. I have neutral undertones, but really like using bronzer instead of, there are some more grayish kind of contours out there. I just like the way bronzer looks, and I think part of it is growing up in California. I spent a lot of time in the summer outside. I used to swim in an outdoor pool, and so I always had a little bit of a tan. That is not the case right now. Right now I'm so white. I look at myself and I think, maybe I should do a self tanner, and then this is bad, but I say, well, but I'm not going anywhere. Would I just do it for myself? And of course the answer should be yes, but sadly I've been way too lazy to do it. So we'll see if I do another video, if maybe I've gotten my act together enough to do a self tanner as well. So as far as the bronzer, I'm going to use the Sun-Kissed color of the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. And I have more expensive bronzers. I could name a whole bunch of names, but let's talk really expensive bronzers. But for whatever reason, I've recently been loving the Physicians Formula and the Fenty bronzers. And so I have $80 bronzers that, maybe more than $80 bronzers, $90, $100 bronzers that have been sitting there. And I've just really loved these. I don't know, there's just a warmth. They just work with my skin. They're so easy to apply. And so what I've got is the Fenty bronzer brush. Going back many years when I was shooting videos, I always talked about how I had this one bronzer brush that I loved. Ooh, that was a bad move. That I loved so much, and I wanted to find something to replace it with because it was just disastrously old and icky and gross and horrible, but I wasn't able to find a brush I liked as much. And now I have found the Fenty, which I adore. And when I set my eyes, I use the Bobbi Brown. So this is the way I do it. I'm not like super into contour. I feel absolutely barefaced without some. But I don't want to put too much. Again, we're going for a more natural look. Ooh, there's squirrels outside running around. There we have it. And so for me, that's all the polish I need. And then I'll put a little bit under the chin, and it's light. Again, the whole point of this video is a brand that's supposed to give you a more natural look, but natural doesn't have to mean blah or boring or anything along those lines. It's supposed to complement you and look like a better you without all that makeup. So the next thing, so we've been through the Tinted Oil Foundation, and I think we've talked about that enough. Then we're going to go through the next thing. I'm going to put on some Color and Light Cream Blush and Highlighter Duo. And I have two of these. Both of these I bought, and I bought them, there's two ways you can buy them. The regular, and then they have the intense. And both of mine are the regular. I bought them online. If I were to do that over again, I would probably buy the intense. I'm not that dark. I'm not that light, but I find that these are a little light on me. And while the foundation that we have lasts pretty well on me, it'll last most of the day. I feel like at the end of the day, I look the same as I did at the beginning, maybe a little bit less glow, honestly, but I find that the color and light cream blush and highlighters don't last so well. By 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I like to put a little bit more on, which is, since they're easy to apply and carry with you, that's fine. So they're $34, 0.32 ounce, and they say it's an ultra blendable cream blush and highlighter palette in versatile duos of balancing, brightening, foolproof, clean, and skin conditioning formulas. Each duo is available in 2 levels of intensity for color that complements every mood and every skin tone. Highlighted ingredients: apricot kernel seed oil soothes skin, rosehip seed oil brightens and clarifies the look of skin, jojoba seed oil soothes and balances. It's vegan, cruelty free, and gluten free. And so here it says, effortless to apply, this reimagined formula combines perfectly blended pigment and active botanicals for the creamiest application and most flattering dewy finish. Each duo has 2 levels of intensity for color that complement every skin tone. High intensity duos have double the pigment for double the payoff. And they have a coordinated highlighter. So on the Sephora site, there are 3 shades, and I think there are 2 additional ones, if I remember correctly, off the Kosas site. So I'm going to first show you the one I'm not going to put on, and then I'm going to put on the second one. And the reason I'm picking the one that I'm picking is just because of the lip colors that I'm starting with. So this right here is Velvet Moon, and we're going to hide the mirror there. Although, you know what, you can see outside. Let's see. Let's see how that's going to work. Nope, it's not going to work. You can't see. There's too much of a glare. And so this one right here is the lightest. And I saw in another video that the highlighters are the same in all of these. I don't think that's true. For me, the highlighters are different. They're very similar in how they look, but you can see it barely shows up on my skin. You can see the orange shows up. But let's just blend that in. It blends really pretty, so it looks really orange, but when it actually goes into your skin, it's really flattering. And the highlighter is a super natural looking highlighter on my skin, at least. I can almost not tell that I have a highlighter on. It's that kind of dewy thing that you either like or you don't. And I've done videos before where I talked about some of these more subtle highlighters, and especially the cream-based highlighters can be very subtle. And I really like that look. It's just softer, but I also really like those bling, like shine in your face kind of highlighters. So it's more the mood I'm in. So this one right here is 8th Muse, and we're gonna apply it. I'm not gonna swatch it. Like I said, I've already done. And I have to layer this a little bit, which is easy to do. Could you use a brush? Yes. Yes, you could. I do not. And I'm not gonna get into that whole debate about fingers or no fingers. When I first started doing videos, I invariably would get these comments about it, and then Pat McGrath came out and she uses her fingers for everything, and I thought, you know what, I'm just not even gonna have that discussion anymore. If Pat McGrath can do it, I don't, you know, so can I. Not that I'm Pat McGrath, obviously, but she sets the standard for the rest of us. And then I'm just putting a little bit of the highlighter on the top of my cheekbones, and I'm sure you can barely see it. I can see it in person. You can see it actually. Now, this is super pretty, really, really pretty, really, really natural. And this is where I continue to kind of layer, because I feel like, and maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong, it doesn't show up that bold on my skin even as I layer. And part of it is that I blend and blend and blend to blend away, but I still feel like it doesn't show up that much on my skin. Okay, we're gonna take forever on this video, right? Since I haven't done a video for a long time, I'm just gonna go forever. Gosh, if I look at my clock. All right, so next we're gonna do the 10-second eyeshadow. So here, this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So it's pigment in liquid. I don't know if you can see that. We're gonna shake it. So there are 3 satin, 3 shimmers, and 1 glitter on Sephora's site, but I think that, if I remember correctly, Kosas has more. And by the way, if you go to the Kosas site, they have some sets where they bundle together a bunch of products and you can get a discount when you do that. And I have been a huge supporter over the years of indie brands, smaller brands. I love them, and I've done a whole bunch of videos on smaller indie brands, even brands that were maybe not age appropriate, just because I loved the concept of supporting the smaller brands. And of course there's that whole thing, like what's age appropriate? If I like it and I want to wear it, what does my age matter? But that's a whole other debate for a whole other day. But I always found that when I did those videos, I didn't get as many views, but I did them anyway, just because, again, I really like the idea of supporting smaller brands and just trying something new. So I'm super thrilled about doing this video. So these are $28, 0.2 ounces. They call it a clean water-based, fast-drying, crease-resistant formula for buildable high-impact color that stays all day. And they have something I cannot pronounce. Galactorubinin. Smooths the appearance of skin and supports cell renewal. Oh, that's nice for my eye area. Jojoba oil soothes and balances in orange flower water. Brightens and tones. And again, also vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free. They talk about it being, you can wear it, it's meant to be worn as a wash of color for the most modern take on a fresh eye look. The formula is carefully crafted with skin-benefiting ingredients to smooth and tone. That's skincare for the eyelids. Keep the product upright while using. Yeah, because if you don't, it's going to spill everywhere. So I have the color Globe, which they say is a champagne, a neutral champagne. And this is a color a lot of people talk about. It does dry fast, so we're going to move quickly to apply, and we're going to do both eyes. I made the mistake, and I'm going to take my same brush that I used for the concealer to clean up the edges and also to clean up the application of this. I actually much prefer, and I've tried different brushes, I've tried my fingers, I like using a mix of my fingers and the same brush that I used for the concealer, just because it does dry fast and I think it just works better for me. But it's kind of a mix. And then I had tried to put it under my eyes and I got it in my eyes, and that was a really bad thing because it stung. So be careful about that because it is really liquidy. So this to me is almost not an eyeshadow on my eyes, and I played around with it with different products to kind of make it, you know, just to take advantage of that kind of sheen, and I've built it up. Maybe because my skin's dry. I've seen other people had creasing and caking problems. I did not, but I also feel like it's so neutral and natural that it's hard to, it complements definitely, but it's just not something that shows up that much on my skin. Alright, now we're going to go in for the daring, dangerous part. If I'm not careful. Just dotting it under. Yep, and it went right into my eyes again. Okay, we're never going to do that again. Never, ever, 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 ever. Big mistake. The good news is you can fix it really fast and it doesn't sting anymore. But I'm not going to try that again. It obviously doesn't work. I think what I'll have to do, because I like having a little bit of color under, I think I'm going to have to take just a brush and, because the thing is it starts running. So it's really pretty. See, it's really pretty. Very natural look. Alright, so we're going to try, just for fun, because I don't want to turn, I thought about this, I could turn the camera off. We're going to try a mascara I just opened. I decided to try one of my multitude of samples. So the Lancome Blanc Noir Definitions. And Kosas had come out with a concealer recently, but I forgot to order it. I mean, literally, I forgot. I meant to do it for the video, and then I just didn't. And so we had to use different concealers. So I can't tell you how the Kosas concealer would work. But they do not have a mascara. So as I look on my little side mirror, and this is where the difference between the camera and kind of the natural light makes a difference, I feel like I just glow and look flawless and my skin looks young and beautiful and great. And I think there's some truth in that in real life, and the soft eyeshadow is so flattering, and but on camera it doesn't show up quite as, it's still pretty, don't get me wrong, I think it looks nice, but it's not quite as glowing and flawless as it is in real life, in my opinion. Okay, let's just get through the rest of the video quickly. We've got 2 lipsticks to try on, then we're gonna go with the glosses. So the one I have on right now is Rosewater, and this one on me is, so they come in this little, and it's got case. It's got a magnet, which is always more expensive. This is what Rosewater looks like on me. Let's try swatches. To me, it's just a My Lips but better in a pink version. It's so pretty. I don't think it's nearly as sheer as some of the reviews I've seen online. It might be because, no, I just don't think it is. It's definitely, to me, it feels like, you know those lip butter type products? It feels like a lip butter, but a little bit creamier, a little bit thicker. Really nice texture on, very light, and it wears well. I think it wears on me close to 2 hours, which if you've watched my videos, you know things do not last on me very long. And I absolutely love this shade. It doesn't make my top lip disappear, which a lot of sheer colors do. It's just so pretty. It's a soft pink. I have this weak spot for things that I consider like angel lips, the kind of color you'd imagine on a young child, a young girl, or a doll or something, or an angel, and I think this is one of those colors. It's just so pretty. I absolutely love it, and I love how it feels on. I love how it wears. I have nothing bad to say about it. So we're going to take it off in a second and try one other color, and then we're going to do the oil glosses super fast, and then we're going to end the video. So the Weightless lip color, $28, 0.14 ounce. There are 8 colors on Sephora. There are a few other colors on the Kosas website, and they say, again, jojoba oil, they like that ingredient, rosehip seed oil, provide antioxidants for enhanced skin tone and textures, enhanced tone and texture, mango seed butter, omega rich and skin soothing, and I think that's part of what I feel. Mango butter, if you ever use it to make your own skincare, it hardens up, but it provides this incredibly glossy, smooth, rich, luxurious feel in products, and that's part of, I think, what I feel when I talk about the lip butter sense to it. And they say this forward-thinking formula redefines clean beauty with lipstick that delivers perfect high-impact pigment with a lived-in finish. This is achieved by an innovative emulsion of 6 botanical oils and 3 botanical butters for full color with undetectable feel. So there it is. And I think as my camera shuts off, I've moved in a little closer, which is fine. When you look at the outdoor swatches of this lip product, the 2 lipsticks that I have, the other one I have is Stardust. When I did the swatches with them both, I thought Stardust looked to me darker, but also to have a little bit more of a peachy-ish to it, a little coral orange along with the pink. When I wear them, I don't know that I agree with that. So here it is, and it's going to be the one on the top. You can definitely see it's darker, and it has a richness, like a deeper version. Again, it's so pretty. I like this color. I don't like it quite as much as the other one, but I do like it. I really love the lipsticks. It looks so much better here on my than it does there. I don't know why. I always have natural light coming in, and so depending on the time of the day, I look different. Yeah, that looks a little more red than it looks here, just to let you know. Yeah, a little bit more. This looks a little bit more red on camera. But you can see how beautiful the application is, and just it's so easy to apply. It's soft, the way it feels on. It feels moisturizing, rich, wears beautifully. I'm so in love with these lipsticks. I now want all of them, which I'm not going to do. I think along with everyone else, I am aware that our country is potentially going to go through a really deep recession, and I think we're all worried about money and jobs and health and our families and our friends and our communities. And there's a certain amount of time I want to spend distracting myself and just not thinking about it. And then there's the times when reality hits and we have to face it. And so I've focused on, making sure that everyone I love and care about is safe and well. and has the products that they need, like food and all of that. I focused on providing emotional support to the people that I love that are around me. I focused also on providing emotional support for me. And I've been reading self-help books and getting back into yoga and just taking time out to stop. You know, that's what's kind of being forced on all of us, this incessant movement that we have in life where everything is always going so fast. And I'd been feeling that, which is why I started this year with trying to recenter and slow down and go inside internally a little bit more. And it's just funny that we got, or I don't know, fate or whatever it is, that we're all having to take this quiet time and just really look inside. I saw something which said, if you can't go outside, look inside, and had, you know, a yogi doing his little thing. And I guess I'm trying to really take that seriously and, you know, find ways of just enjoying and appreciating life and what we have and hoping for the best, hoping that things pass quickly and hoping, you know, just hoping for the best. If anyone has any thoughts of kind of how they're dealing with the stress, and you know, some places are under more of a lockdown than others. As I've said repeatedly throughout this video, I'm in Los Angeles, which is one of those places where we're not allowed to go anywhere, just to the store to get food and, you know, nothing. Not allowed to go to work, not allowed to do anything. Well, that's fine. I'm enjoying parts of it as much as I don't enjoy other parts. All right. The Wet Lip Oil Gloss, $27, 0.15 ounce. And part of the reason why I did this video too, I've been planning on doing a Kosas video anyway, and I've been playing around with the products, and then it seemed like the perfect brand. First, more natural, you know, I'm trying to be better to myself, eat better as I'm, you know, looking inward and taking care of myself. Trying to be more natural about things and more focused on sustainability. So it's a perfect brand for me to be looking at right now. And then I got a request for a video this past week, and I've gotten requests periodically, and I always say, yeah, I'm going to do it, but I thought this really was the right time. And there's a balance between escaping and just enjoying, again, just being in the moment and just enjoying what you have. And then whatever, God or whatever looked down on me, and I was able to get this stuff from Sephora, these free lip oil glosses. And after years of trying. Okay, this is Jellyfish. This is the clear, and I think I said $27 for 0.5 ounce. This is what it looks like. So it's got kind of a slight pink to it. Let me see how these swatches will look on my arm. So it's got a real high sheen to it. Ooh, really pretty. Almost like a duochrome sheen, which you're not going to see. Maybe I'll just take a picture of these outside after. In the right angle, it has almost a duochrome, and then in another angle, it just looks like a super glossy gloss. I think there's going to be a smell to them. Nope. There is, but I can't smell it. I don't know, that probably doesn't make sense, but I sense that there's a slight smell to it, but barely there. Like barely there. And something that, no. Let's see, I'm gonna go back to the lipstick and see if I smell anything in there. I haven't focused on smells. There's just a slight, it's almost like a natural oil sort of a smell, like a mango seed oil kind of smell, and or not mango seed, no, mango oil smell, which I only know how those smell because I used to, you know, make my own skincare. And it's just a very subtle, almost not there. Definitely not some of those, you know, artificial things that they put in different lip products. It's more of a natural, almost not there. Okay, so next we're gonna do dip. These are the cutest little containers. Aren't they cute? I think it's so cute. Love them. I actually really love the containers. They're cool. Cool. And this is in a blue box versus the other ones, which are, I'm just like everywhere. Again, I haven't been doing videos for a while. I'm not that slick. I used to be way more slick, right? And with the Zoom taking over our lives now, it's really good that I do videos. And so there's going to be this in these, where once you open it, it's going to show that it's been opened. Ooh. That is a really pretty color. I wonder if, you know what, I'm going to zoom up on these. Just one second. Okay, we're zoomed up. You can see I get mostly full coverage on my lips with this. It's got a really pretty sheen to it. It's got a nice amount of pigment. This is supposed to be a pearly nude, and it's definitely, yeah, with a slight pink to it, right? It's a nude with a slight pink, maybe a brown pink, as opposed to one of those no pink kind of a nudes with just a brown. So definitely very flattering. It's not that sticky. It has that same creaminess. Maybe it's the jojoba oil. I was saying it's the mango, but jojoba oil is the one thing that's consistent. Maybe it's the jojoba oil. Yeah. It's got a little bit of an oil feel to it, definitely. So they call it an oil gloss. It definitely has that in it, that really smooth feel to it. Just moisturizing, rich. I'm really liking these. And now that we're closer to, I thought about moving closer at the end of the video, but now we don't have to because we just did. You can see better how there's that little sheen from the highlighter. You can see how my skin looks. Again, it's gonna look different on camera. It looks, the camera just does something weird with foundation, which you always look, any little imperfection shows. So if you have something that doesn't completely blot out everything, then you can see it and it's going to be a little bit less flattering. But you can see the kind of glow that I'm talking about with the skin, and then you can also see how natural and just warm the eye look is. Okay, Malibu, Cool Pearly Pink. For some reason, I've been obsessed with ordering this color. I don't know why. Every time I look at the Kosas website, every time I look at Sephora looking at Kosas, I want this color so badly. And it's a really pretty color. It's a little bit more glossy. You can see again that there's a lot of pigment in the shades that have pigment. I am a guilty person who wears makeup to the gym. This is like, oh my gosh, perfect for that. Yes, yes, it happens. But it's also perfect for wearing around the house when you don't want to just, I don't know. I don't want to say let yourself go because that's not what I think it is. When you don't want to take the time or the effort, or you just want to relax and have that feel of just not piling it all on, not having the demands of getting ready for every other day, but you still want a little bit more polish. This is a great brand. These are great products to do that with. Next one is Fruit Juice, which is neutral magenta. Same cute packaging. They call this a hybrid lip treatment and gloss packed with peptides that plump and hydrate, all while providing a juicy slick of color. I do think that, oh, that's so funny. I do think that they look, they are a little plumping. All right, so I want a mirror for this because I am notoriously bad at putting on glosses with a lot of pigment, like color. Interesting. Okay, so this is what I would say. You can put on a light layer or you can put on what I just did and add that second heavy layer. With the second heavy layer, I do get a little bunching, and actually just doing that made it so much better. Super high shine, so it's super flattering, but it does bunch up a little bit with the way I applied it initially. I would do a lighter layer with this one and not keep layering it on like I did. I think it was more flattering. Yeah, so I kind of brush away some of it on me. It doesn't mean it's going to be that way on everyone, but on me, it's a really great color. It adds a little oomph. I do like the other two with the pigment better. The reason what I was said when I looked down and I said, oh, of course. So this does not have jojoba oil in it. It has hyaluronic acid, which attracts water and locks in hydration. Peptides protect collagen, and then evening primrose oil. So it does have an oil. Maintains plumpness and protects against environmental stressors. So just a really pretty color. A little bit of bleeding. I don't know why I do that with every single darker gloss, but I think it's just harder. Okay, and the last one is Jaws, and this is, I threw that on the ground, a warm red. Okay, again, the great little package. I don't know if I didn't get enough or if this is just, yeah, I didn't get enough. This one bunches up a little, but not nearly as much as the last one. And it may just be that I'm getting better at applying them. It might not be the color. This is really pretty. I'm not sure I like the blush with this one. Maybe. Yeah, it's really pretty. And again, it has that really smooth feel to it. So how am I going to end the video? It's always like the killer, right? I really like this look. I wish, let's actually zoom out. Yeah, let's zoom out. Okay, so how to end the video. I really like this look. What are my takeaways? I will continue playing with the foundation, and I think I will also continue moving toward using it on an everyday basis and kind of getting rid of some of my heavier, thicker foundations, just because I like the idea of seeing my skin again more and more, even if it's not perfect. And part of that, I think, comes with aging and maturity. You just stop trying to be perfect all the time. And part of it is I just like the glow that I get with it. The glow really makes up for some of the other deficiencies in the product. Like I said, it just bunched up a little bit over my Wonder Glow, and it doesn't have the full coverage. And then there's that whole issue with how to do the concealer. But I really do hate it, just depending on the day. And I like the eyeshadow. I don't love it. I like it. I have not had the creasing issues that other people have had, but that might be because I have dry skin, or because it's so light on me. I like the cheek products. I think they're really natural and soft and pretty. I really love the lip products. I love Rosewater, that lipstick, the first one that I put on. And I do like these glosses a lot. I like the lighter colors better. I like how glossy they are, how they just have this great pigment too. They have this amazing glow. So I'm pretty happy with pretty much everything. As far as the world in general and the videos, I'll continue trying to make videos. I really want to get back into it. It's hard. It takes time and dedication, and then I need products, but I love it. I love the community. I love talking to people. I love getting the feedback. So we'll keep working on that. And as far as the world in general, just a prayer. Let's pray for all of us. We're all going through this together, and hopefully we can find some good in it, and find ways of coping and improving ourselves and improving the world. And I've talked to a bunch of people, and everyone says that this will change them, and they're trying to make sure that it changes them in a good way. And I think that's the best we can hope for. Sometimes bad things happen, and we can just hope to get through them and hope to make sure that they don't happen again. Be well. To all the people that I've talked to in the past, and other people as well, I'd love to hear from you guys, and so please reach out as much as possible. And thanks for watching. Even if I am not the most dedicated YouTuber out there, I do love the platform, and will try to do better. Thanks. God bless.